Today on Credit Talks, Coach Q and we're going to show you guys how to pay your credit card bills in order to do two things: boost your credit scores and build a strong relationship with your creditors. So stay tuned. If you are new here, I would like to extend a warm welcome for you to subscribe to Tina Talks Credit so that you do not miss any new tips, tricks, hacks, or information on how to dispute and strategize things on your credit report. If you are an oldie but a goodie, hey, let's get into it.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm Credit Coach Q, and this is my lovely co-host, Miss Tina Talks Credit. Welcome back to the channel, Miss Tina. Guys, today's video, we have a very good video for you guys. We're going to teach you step by step on when to pay your credit card and how to pay your credit cards. A lot of people have credit cards and they misuse the credit cards because they don't know specifically on when to pay them on time. It is an actual method for you to actually pay your credit cards so you can get the best credit data points on a monthly basis going forward. So, guys, let's dive straight in. I'm super excited about this video because I know a lot of people universally have issues with paying their credit cards. They don't know when to pay their credit cards. They don't know the best time to pay their credit cards, and they just be all over the place. So I want to share my screen. Okay, so guys, this is the step-by-step script on how to pay your credit cards by the statement end date, right? We're going to go over everything step by step. So step one, we're going to understand the credit card billing cycle. The step two, we're going to talk about identify your statement closing dates. Step three, we're going to pay your balance before the statement closing dates. Step four, strategically use your credit card. Step five, automate payments for consistency. Step six, monitor your credit utilization. Step seven, request a credit line increase. Step eight, build stronger relationships with your bank. Step nine, take advantage of bank offers. So guys, this is going to be a full-fledged step-by-step on not only how to pay your credit cards, but how to get the most benefit for upper mobility when it comes to the relationship with your credit cards and the banks that house them, right? Because that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is not to get a $500 credit card and stay there, pay the $500 every month. The ultimate goal is to get a $20, $50, up to $100,000 credit card where you can have more leverage and more credit power to actually do what you need to do, right, Miss Tina? All right, so I want to go over the first couple steps, and then I'm going to give Miss Tina the floor. Miss Tina, if you want to chime in at any time while I'm going over these first couple steps, then please do so, okay?
I try to be patient because I can talk so much, so I'm trying to...
No, they want you to talk. That's the whole point. They want you to talk because they want to get as much information about this stuff as possible. And you are a wealth of knowledge. So, please talk. Don't ever hesitate to talk, okay? So, step one, understand the credit card billing cycle, right, guys? Every credit card has a billing cycle, usually 28 to 30 days long. The statement closing date is the last day of the cycle. The due date is typically 21 to 25 days. After the statement closing date, any balance that appears on the statement closing date is reporting to the credit bureau. So guys, basically what that means is that every credit card has a different closing date. It really just depends on when you open the credit card and when the credit card issuer that you have, right? So when you have a credit card, you want to make sure that you know these dates, because if you pay it after the date, then you're not going to get the points or the benefits from actually paying the credit card. So for instance, if you had a credit card and the closing date is on the 14th and you pay it on the 16th, whatever is on that credit card on the 14th is going to reflect on your next monthly billing cycle, and they're going to report that to the credit bureaus as well. Right, Ms. Tina?
So it's important to pull up your statement, wherever your credit card statement is, download the app or however you can get it, and find out when your billing cycle end date. Now, it's going to be called a statement close date or a statement end date in your statement.
Right.
So make sure you find that out and make that closing date maybe like 1 or 2 days before the closing date. So if the closing date is on the 16th, then you want to make sure that everything that you're going to pay for that month, hopefully it's all of the balance, but if it's not, as much as you can, is in by the 15th. Because on the 16th, that closing date, they're going to close that account out for the month and report whatever whatever balance you have over to the credit bureaus. So it's important to pay it by that statement close date. So make sure that you pay attention to your actual due date and your statement end date. Sometimes your statement end date is after your due date. So make sure that you pay a couple of payments ahead so you can get ahead of that. So you're not paying it late by paying it by the close date. I've seen people run into that problem. Right. Yeah.
And what I'll tell my clients to do is to call the credit card. Call the credit card company, ask them when is my closing date and when is my statement date, because these dates are basically the deadline for the credit card.
Right.
And you not necessarily would get a late payment for paying after the closing date, but if you maxed out a credit card and you have the money, but you want to say, I'm going to pay at the end of the month, but your statement and closing date is in the middle of the month, your utilization going towards the credit bureaus is going to be through the roof because you paid it after it. So you want to make sure when that date is, and like I said, that date can be in the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, or at the end of the month, depending on the credit card that you have and the issuer that's giving it. So this is one of the most important aspects of this, because if your utilization go through the roof, it can drop your score down 100 points. You could pay the credit card within the same month. You could pay it in a month of March, but if you pay it after these dates, they're only going to come get your information from that credit card one time a month. And if you pay it after they come and get the information, whatever that information that they are reporting to whatever the information that they have at that specific time is what they're going to send to the credit bureaus. And if you pay at the end of the month, you're not going to get a late payment, but you will get whatever the utilization is and whatever the status of the credit card at the time. So number one, and utilization is the second most important aspect of your credit in entirety. So you want to make sure that utilization is always on point, because like I said, your utilization can drop your score down 100 points. So step 2, identify your statement closing date. Log into your online banking portal or check your latest statement to find the statement closing date. This date remains consistent each month unless changed by the issuer. So you can log into the banking portal. If you know how to find it, because all portals are different, look for it and make sure you jot that date down, because that, like I said, that date is going to be one of the most important aspects of this card. Guys, utilization is the most important aspect of your credit, because if your utilization is through the roof, it will stop. Not only will it drop your score 100 points, but you're not going to be able to get approved for any new credit, because when your utilization is too high, you are basically telling the credit bureaus and the algorithm that the credit bureaus use that you over leverage. Utilization scares the mess out of new creditors, because you're basically telling them that you are tapped out of the available credit that you can currently have. So you don't want to ever mistranslate the utilization, especially if you have the money. Make sure that you're paying it before the closing day. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry, Q. I feel like giving out a nugget, because I know they got that, because we just gave you, what you call it, some sauce. We gave you some complete sauce right there, okay? But I feel like giving out a nugget. So I'm going to tell you guys, like, especially if you're somebody who's starting out with a small limit on the credit card, let's say you have a $500 limit. I'm going to tell you how to turn that $500 credit limit into $10,000 in anywhere between 6 to 9 months. So listen, all right.
Before you say that, guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, like and subscribe to the channel right now, guys. Before we give this nugget out, take a pause. All right, now go ahead, give me the meat and potatoes, Miss Tina.
Okay. All right, guys. So listen, I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. Like, I literally can't believe it, because I wasn't that into YouTube. But anyway, that's cool for me, right?
Yes, 10K.
How to turn a $500 credit limit into a $10,000 credit limit in 6 to 9 months. All right. So this is so easy. So take that credit card, fight the temptation to go max it out and do other stuff with it, and just focus on simple stuff. Like, make it your gas card. Let's say you buy $50 worth of gas a week, or however much you're using, and pay it off every week. Like, if you get paid every Friday, don't go over $100 on that card, okay? And just say in your mind, this is my strategy. This is how I'm going to get this credit limit up, because this is going to build your relationship with the bank. So now we're not talking about credit bureau no more, because the scores are going to go up from this as well, but the banks, we want a relationship with the banks. So don't use over $100 at a time. Pay it off every week. If you get paid every 2 weeks, pay it off every 2 weeks. If you get paid every month, make sure you pay it completely off by the statement close date. If you do this, I guarantee you, if you start out doing this, every 90 days, you're going to get a credit limit increase without you even having to ask or request it from the banks. banks. I promise you, I tell my clients this all the time when we're starting out doing credit building. It works every single time that you do it exactly the way I tell you to do it. Keep the balance low, pay it completely off. That's literally all you're doing. And you will never have to ask. Like, I've had clients turn $200 secured credit limits into unsecured $10,000 in less than 6 months just by literally following this. It's about relationship when it comes to the banks. The banks want to see that you're using your credit, but they also want to see that you're paying it off. Not paying it down, but paying it off. So make sure that you have the idea in your head while you're building your credit limits is paying off, not paying down. Okay? That's the key. And that's all you need to do to get that credit limit. I guarantee you. And this doesn't have to be like a Navy Federal Credit Union card where they always give you like the high credit limits. Even if it's like Capital One, I don't care who it is. Like they'll give you the money. You just got to show them that you're going to pay it all the way off. That's it. That's the sauce.
Yeah, because they want you to have credit. That's what they are in business for. They want you to have credit. They just want to know that you have diligence and you have the discipline to maintain a high limit credit card, And that's a good point, Ms. Tina, because when you pay the credit card off and you're not overutilizing the credit card, you are basically telling creditor in the algorithm that you need more credit. And they want to give you the high limit credit cards, but they just don't want to have a high risk when it comes to those high limit credit cards. And paying it off and paying it completely off and paying it off consistently will basically lower your risk minimally. So that's a good nugget, Ms. Tina. That's a really, really good nugget, actually.
Another thing, go get a bunch of lower limit credit cards when you're starting out building up your credit card wallet, because the other banks are going to see all the lower limit, credit cards, and they're going to give you a low limit too if they approve you. So I just recommend, and this is just my opinion, that if you're starting out, you get one, maybe two, cards, build those limits up before you start applying for other credit cards. And like, there's a certain thing called like the higher tier bank credit cards. I would go for those, even if you have to start out small and you have to start out with one, because you want to have like for lack of a word, a more bougier looking credit card. Like, you want to be like the Target to the Walmart. Like, you First Premier and all them, they're okay. Don't get me wrong. Even though like they have like extremely high interest rates because they're geared toward people with bad credit. But if you don't have to settle for that, I suggest that you don't. At least start in the middle at like Capital One. Okay. So because that matters as well too to banks like Chase and American Express, that they look there and they see on your credit report that you got like kickoff and all that stuff, then that tells them that you are struggling, and it makes your credit portfolio look less appealing to the higher tiers bank. And I just know this from the different lenders that I've talked to.
Oh man, this is way more sauce than I thought we was gonna get. Okay, so step 3. Your balance before the closing date. We already talked about this. Why banks report balances to credit bureaus right after the statement day. We talked about that. Make a payment at least 2 days before. We talked about that. And the goal is to have a zero balance. We just talked about that. All right, the step 4, I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and then I'm going to give the reins to step 5 to Ms. Tina. Strategically use your credit card. We talked about this. 10 to 30% of your credit limit throughout the month. Don't go over 10 to 30% because we talked about the utilization factor. Pay it down before the closing date. We talked about this to avoid high utilization. Talked about that. Leave a small balance, 1 to 5% of your limit. If you want some usage, report it. Optional. All right, Ms. Tina, I'm gonna let you go over this remaining steps. Do you want to share your screen, or you just want me to scroll down?
Yeah, I'm good. Like, we've covered everything literally like down our list here. But the last thing that I want to say is take advantage of your pre-approval offers. Like, for me, unless you have a credit report where you know you're going to get approved for these cards that you're applying for, go the pre-approval route. Like, don't sit there and keep running your credit over and over again and gathering all these hard inquiries, because by the time you get to where you can get approved for a credit card, you could get denied because they see that you've been seeking a lot of credit. So pre-approvals are definitely the way to go, and most banks have them. So use your pre-approvals and, keep from doing all the extra stuff.
Absolutely. So guys, we talked about closing day, we talked about the statement day, we talked about the utilization information. We talked about how to actually properly use the credit card,
Mhm.
upward mobility from $500 getting all the way up to $10,000
Yeah.
credit cards. We talked about which credit cards to actually go for. Don't go for the first premier. Don't go for the introductory credit cards all the time. If you have to, you have to, because everyone has to start somewhere. But
Right.
you definitely want to make sure that you are not bulking your credit portfolio or your credit report with just introductory credit cards like Kick, Self Lender, First Premier, things like that, because it doesn't look appeasing to the banks or those higher tier credit cards. Guys, I think that we talked about everything. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. The question that you have, like I said in the last video, I'm making an effort to respond to every comment that we are getting. Sorry guys about that. We just had some technical difficulties, but like I said, if you found any information helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm push this content to a wider audience. Guys, if you have any questions, like I said, leave it in the comment section. I'm going to make sure that I read every comment and we're going to discuss it further. Guys, Miss Tina is launching a brand new academy on April 6th. We are super excited for this. She is one of the best credit specialists in the country. And guys, look out for her new academy. And also go to her YouTube channel. We are nearing 10K subscribers. Congrats on your new 10K subscribers, Miss Tina. Guys, like I said, we talked about everything in this video from top to bottom. Comes to how to appropriate your credit card, deal with your credit card, and make sure that you have upper mobility to go from a $500 credit card to a $10,000 credit card. Guys, do you want to say anything before we leave?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, until next time, take care of your credit. Take care of yourself. Credit Coach Q.